Hi guys, so welcome to the vlog. I'm on my porch and you can see me in the reflection. Hey, what's up? And yes, I am on photo booth on my MacBook. So basically, if you're new to this channel, I'm going to be starting to post videos like this where I just sit and talk and vlogs and whatever the fuck else I want to create on this channel because I'm trying to kind of transition my main channel into being more of a place for my really high quality, like high production value, scripted content that showcases what I want to do as a career, as a director, as a filmmaker, and as an actress. So I don't want to dilute that with videos of me just like sitting and talking. So that's going to all go here because I did, that being said, I started YouTube because I like talking to people and I want, I have something to say and I want to have a dialogue with you guys and I want to have a relationship. And I want to be able to express myself. And so, obviously I'm still doing all of those things on my main channel, but it's just going to be a higher quality version of that kind of content. But I didn't want to lose out on stuff like this because I like doing it. So this is honestly really just like for funsies. And yeah, I wanted to do like an apartment tour. My puppies had to go inside because they were barking too much. And I already filmed this video, but then my computer didn't save it, so, but you know what, it's fine, because everything happens for a reason, which is what I wanted to talk. That's not what I want to talk about today. I don't even know what I want to talk about today, but I just felt like turning on the camera because I've been thinking about some things. Specifically, as lame and cheesy as it sounds, that's one thing I have to stop doing, is apologizing for my ideas, and apologizing for the fact that they're kind of chaotic, because it is what it is. But anyways, I'm working on that. I was going to say sorry if this video is just disjointed, but I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for having something to say but not knowing completely how to eloquently express it because, whatever. Anyways, I have been thinking lately because I feel so good that this is the happiest that I think that I have ever been in my entire life. This moment right now. And I've been waking up every day feeling like it's the greatest day ever, every day. And that's something that I've been striving for a really long time. Because I've always been someone who has lived in the hope and promise of the future. Whether that's, oh, my life will be so much better when I graduate from high school and I'm in college. Or, oh, my life will be so much better when I graduate college. Or, oh, my life will be so much better when I'm in LA. Or whatever it may be, I've always been that person who I'm like, oh, my life will be great when this happens in the future. And then that thing happens, and I'm waiting for my life to be as great as I once thought that it was going to be at that time, and then it's not. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this lie? Like, I don't know. And it's interesting that I finally feel at peace with myself and my life and my circumstances because I'm the poorest that I've ever been in my adult life right now. This is the least amount of plan that I've ever had, like the least amount of like structure and knowing what's going to happen next. I've always had guarantees and assurances in my life of like where I was going to be a year down the line or 5 years down the line. Whether that was when I was in high school, I knew that I'd be like graduating college in 5 years or whatever. And now all that is gone, having graduated and having like moved out, not out, I have been moved out, but across the country, there's no more, like, I know what's going to happen next in my life, and that has always freaked me the fuck out if I don't have a plan, if I don't know what's going on. So, my old self would think that my current self, if, like, I had said, oh yeah, in 2 years, you're going to be, sitting on your porch, and you're basically home office with your puppies, just writing stuff, like, really poor. But you have great friends, and you have, a great family, and you have a great support system, and all these things. I would have been like, but that's, like, what makes me, I was like, oh, but why, I'd probably be like, why aren't I working on TV shows or movies? Like, why aren't I more successful, or more rich, or with more connections, whatever. It's not, what I'm living right now is what, if you asked me 2 years ago, would be my, like, ideal life, but I'm still so happy despite all of the things that I would have thought were not the greatest. Like, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I would like to have more money, and obviously I would like to be further along in my career and all of these things, but it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would, is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, if I just look at the circumstances, it's not a recipe for happiness, but it's my mindset that has made me happy in my circumstances that I'm in, which has never been the case in my life before, so it's been really interesting to wake up every day and feel like I'm living my dream life when this isn't my dream life. Like, does that make sense? I don't know if I'm properly explaining it. If you asked me 2 years ago what my dream life would be, I would say that I wake up in the morning and I go to yoga, and I'm like so flexible and so, fit, and then I go and I post it on Instagram to my 1,000,000 followers, and then, I go to set and I'm the director. Like, does that make sense? Like, I don't have any of those things. I would also be rich in my ideal life. I don't have any of those things, but despite that, I'm happier than I ever have been when I had, portions of the things. I've had times in my life where I had a lot more money than I do now, or I had a lot more social media clout, like when my YouTube channel was a lot more successful than it is now, and I was actually active on it and stuff like that. Like, that's what I would have thought, like, would make me happy, I guess. So I've just been really realizing lately that your mindset is really what makes it, and it's this inner home and inner peace that translates to your life. I've always been I don't want to say turbulent person, but I guess, like, kind of anxious, kind of moody, kind of like, I just had a lot going on always, and I always have, and I always will, but, for the first time in my life, and I don't know if it's because I'm not a teenager anymore, I don't know if it's because I'm not in school having my life dictated by people, like, I don't know if it's that I'm free now, like, I have a lot more freedom now than I ever have, and I don't know if that's kind of why I feel so peaceful, but for someone who freaks out when not given guidelines or a plan, I'm really calm right now, and I feel really at peace with everything in my life. Obviously, there's circumstances and opportunities, like I said, that I want to change. Obviously, I'm continuing to work on myself, but I've put a lot of hard work into myself and my mindset and how I view myself and how I view my relationship with my career and with the world. And speaking of the world, I think a lot of this not changed, but was enhanced when I went to Thailand. That was like a really eye-opening experience for me. Being able to travel to a place like that for the first time and meet so many interesting people who had such different attitudes about life and such different priorities. So I think that my priorities definitely shifted, and I don't know if it's my priorities shifting, I don't know if it's literally like my hormones are more chill now. I don't know what it is, but I finally feel more at peace than I ever have been in more turbulent conditions than I've had in the past, if that makes sense. Hydrate, guys, key. And I'm taking good care of myself now, more than I ever have been. And I'm both physically and mentally putting self-care first and putting, just different priorities and different, like, I've always been a career-driven person, and I am a super still career-driven person, very ambitious, but I have more balance in my life, and it's making me a lot happier. And I don't know, it's just, there's no point to this video, other than, like, letting go a little bit of the control freak that rages inside of me. Like, don't get me wrong, my control freak is still there. She's very present, and she's my alter ego. No, I'm kidding. That's, like, very much part of who I am, is I love control, and I love knowing what's next, and I love being ambitious and wanting to improve on things. But being able to let go of the control a little bit, and honestly, is like, hippy-dippy as this sounds, trust the universe, and trust the process, and trust that everything will be fine, has revolutionized my freaking life. Like, not just freaking out about everything and wanting to control everything. Like, I'm really freaking happy for someone who I feel like, I don't know, like, is I'm in a weird place, obviously, but, yeah, let go a lot of my expectations of myself, of my expectations of this city that I'm living in, of other people. That's been huge. Just not expecting so many things, um, and not expecting things and not being complacent and wanting to, like, receive things, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know what I thought. When I first moved to LA, I was like a hot mess. I didn't do anything. I was unproductive. I just felt like all of the doors were closed. I felt very overwhelmed. I wasn't being creative. I had no ideas for anything because I felt so much pressure and so much like, this is where I need to be and I'm not there. And honestly, for the first time in my life, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm living, like, in the moment, which sounds cheesy and everyone talks about it all the time. And I was like, yeah, live in the moment. But no, I was always waiting for something to happen. And for the first time in my life, being present in the moment and literally just being happy about today, despite the circumstances that I want to improve on and want to change. Like, obviously I want to be directing features, but does that mean that I can't be happy until I'm directing features? My prior self would probably say yes, but my now self says no. Obviously I don't want to be poor, and I'm poor right now, but I can still be happy in being poor, which is, like, I never thought that I would be. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just, I don't know, it's about letting the universe take control. I feel like a hippie dippy weirdo saying that. But, yeah, just accepting that there are things that are out of your control and accepting that everything is going to work itself out, and that something that I might perceive as a negative situation has, like, a lot of hidden blessings. Like, there have been a lot of things that have happened that I just put it out there, let it happen, and it's been amazing. Like, when I did prom night, that was very, very rushed. And obviously, there's things that I would change about the movie. There's things I would change about every project. But, like, I wish that I had more time with certain things. I wish I would have done things differently. But if I had been waiting, and I wasn't fully prepared to make that film, but I think that if I had waited to be fully prepared, it never would have gotten done. Like, I just literally looked in the mirror one day, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. Like, is it kind of irresponsible? Sure. But I'm just going to do it. Because why not? And I'm just going to throw it out there. And I threw it out there. And, if it sticks with people, it sticks with people. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But bottom line is there's been cool opportunities that have come out of that. That's not even, like, regarding the film. Like, the cast that I had, like, assembled hadn't all met before. And now everyone is, like, really good friends and hangs out. And so it's like, even if that film flops and doesn't go to any film festivals, I will have the friendships that were created out of that. Maybe that's why that film had to happen. I've been accepting more opportunities in my life with that attitude, even when things don't work out. There's been a lot of, like, job opportunities or things that, like, haven't come through, or haven't come through in the way that I wanted. And instead of being upset about it, I'm like, oh, it's because then something happens. I'm like, and this was supposed to come out of that. And, this is a better opportunity anyways. And so letting go of, like, the reins and just being able to accept the things that are happening to me, but also not being complacent. Like, that's the thing. I don't know if I've talked about this yet, because I've filmed this twice, but now it's all jumbling in my head. Like, you can't just sit and expect things to happen to you. And I think, I was expecting to just move to LA, and then all of these opportunities were just going to fall into my lap. And I was just, happiness was going to fall into my lap, because that's just what was supposed to happen. And you have to be very active. I was like, oh, all these ideas will just fall into my lap, and everything will be great, but you can't be so backseat to all of these things. Like, nothing is going to happen to you or for you. You have to work for things, and you have to be active, and even if that's not in the ways you might think, like, even, like, for me, going to Thailand, which the workaholic part of my brain is like, oh, that's so unproductive. Oh, like, whatever. The workaholic part is, like, freaking out. That helped my creative mind so much more than locking myself in a room with pen and paper and saying, make some video ideas, would have ever done. So sometimes, like, I've realized it's a lot of things like that I'd be like, oh, Jenna, didn't do that, that's unproductive. But really, that's, like, what I need. I need to prioritize self-care and taking time to do things that fulfill me in other ways that then lead to other ways of fulfillment. Does that make sense? But yeah, being active, like, you have to play an active part. Like, it's not supposed to be easy. If it was supposed to be easy, if life was supposed to be easy, then it would, I don't know, I don't know where I was going with that. But, like, you know, a career in the creative field is not supposed to be easy. If it was, everyone would be really, like, successful with it. Or whatever. So it's like, you have to put in work, and you have to accept where you are now. Like, moving to LA and seeing that a lot of really successful people that are doing what I want to be doing, they're like 35. So I was like, shit, what am I going to do from 21 to 35? Like, I could let myself sit there and be like, oh, well, then I'll be happy when I'm 35. But I'm like, no, I'm just going to do what I want to do right now. And there's so much peace in that freedom of just putting stuff out there for the heck of it. And just accepting that, like, people are going to think about it what they will. And that's, you know, I've realized it's not my responsibility to cater towards anyone. I'm just here to put out my stuff, and if you like it, you do it. And then if you don't, you don't watch it. See, you guys are going to realize that in the videos I've posted of me talking in the past, I make sense for like 10% of the time, and then I cut out the 90% that I don't. So welcome to the 100%. Where sometimes it doesn't all make sense, but again, that's just part of it. Is sometimes it just doesn't make sense, but yeah, I don't know. It's just been an interesting journey this past couple of weeks / months that I have been like, wow, this is it. Like, every day is just a great day. I want to, like, I'm listening to music when I walk down the street, and I want to feel like I'm in a musical and I want to dance, because that's how, like, just good I feel in my own skin and in my current situation. And, like, as cliche and as much as you might hear it, living for the present, in the present, is just the best thing that you can do for yourself, because I'm not, you know, worried about, like, obviously I'm worried about where I'll be in X amount of time, and obviously it's a consideration, but I'm not every day living in that. I'm living in the moments right now, even when they're uncomfortable, and even when there's something that I'd want to change and want to grow. Just being comfortable, being uncomfortable is something that I've learned lately that has given me just so much peace of mind. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. So if, I don't know, you relate, let me know. Or if maybe you needed a push to start that creative project you've been wanting to do, and you just gotta do it. Girl, just get out there. Just do it. Just trust more in the universe, and trust that everything happens, you know, for a reason. And even if you can't see that reason right now, I'm a firm believer that it's there, and that, you know, you'll be okay. You know, your life is not going to turn out to be exactly what you expect it to be, but if you let go of expectations of yourself, of other people, you'll be a lot more free and a lot more at peace. Don't put so much pressure on yourself or on your life or on your situations, and take time to just be. I think that's the number one thing that I've learned lately, is take time to just be. Yoga has helped a lot with that, because I have a really hard time turning my brain off for more than 2 minutes. And so getting more into the practice and more into the just, like, not turning off, obviously you're still active, but, like, just being able to take in the moment for what it is, and to be quiet with yourself. It's just really important. I hope I, like, talked about everything that I had, because I filmed this video, like, multiple times. But, yeah, take time today to do something for yourself, and to take the pressure off, and to just, like, enjoy your life. Bottom line, that's, like, what the fuck we're here for, right? So, even if you're not where you'd want to be in certain areas of your life, appreciate the now, appreciate the struggle, appreciate the journey, what it takes to get there. It's not supposed to be easy, and it's not supposed to fall into your lap, so just do it. Just be like Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Just get yourself out there and have fun, because that's what it's all about. So, you know, stop being so caught up in the stuff that doesn't matter, because, you know, what matters is your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the important people in your life. And now we're getting too deep. Okay, I'm just gonna stop myself now, because I'm just blabbering. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, because obviously I love just sitting chatting, or you're like, no, Jenna, never make one of these over again. You can tell me that. I'm gonna do what I want though, because that's what this channel is for. I want to do an apartment tour. I think that would be fun. And yeah, let's have a conversation in the comments. How are you feeling with your lives lately? If you're not feeling satisfied, why? And what can you do to become satisfied with where you're at? And yeah, I don't know. Thanks for listening if you've made it that far. Okay. Bye, guys.